Hello, welcome back to the Toolbox series. Today we have got a very exciting session. We're on the sand put lab, we're doing a bit of putting. So let's go through 10 puts. We're going to do the extended measurements on our sand put lab. You may have watched my sand put lab video, that should be out before this. I edited it yet. Yeah, so 10 puts, get some measurements, see what we need to improve, and hopefully make some good improvements ready for the end. Sounds good?
Yep.
Yeah, let's get into it. 10 puts, hold about how many?
4 or 5.
Decent, that's good. Right, well, now we've got information up on the screen, let's have a look at it. Right, so aiming is pretty good. 2 bars there, one of consistency, one of score. So score is how good you aim, consistency is how often you do it out of 10 puts, that's pretty good. Let's see them green bars. Let's have a look at impact. 1.3 closed, from it being 0.7 closed. Let's have a look at some breakdowns of that. So we've got some that happen to close more in the instance of that red line there than some of these. Most of them pretty neutral though, mate, so that's pretty good.
My miss is left.
Is it?
Miss, yeah.
That's interesting then, so we could do some face work. Path 1.8 degrees right. You've got quite a similar putting stroke to me, you know. So as you saw in my video, this guy's got similar tendencies, so path slightly to the right, face slightly close to it. Then, when we look at initial ball direction again, we've got most of them coming off pretty neutral because the face is matching up to the path, but we have got a couple of pulls also. So, first thing that we need to look at, straightening that up. On the whole though, it's pretty good. Path direction, this is an interesting one, so have a look at them. So you would presume, without having looked at it yet, I've got quite a strong arc of your putting stroke, judging by that. Nice exit pattern though. With me, these ones don't arc back inside, whereas yours do, so that's very good. We see it nicely on the inside, nicely on the inside, which is good. Path direction again, mostly to the right. This is pretty good, the strike, so most of them are quite high out the face, so that means you could be losing a little bit of ball speed, but on the whole, score's pretty good. Consistency a little bit off, as we did get that strike moving around a little. There's worst one there, probably a little bit more towards the heel. On average it's 1.6 millimeters toward the heel, which isn't bad really at all, so that's all pretty good. This is an interesting one. So we've got rise angle 2.2 impact, that's pretty perfect. Mine's like 4 or 5 and it's too much. Predicted launch 1.7 up, that's pretty good. You deal off the putter by 1.3 degrees, but that means that it's got about 3 degrees on it at impact again, which is pretty perfect. So all those parameters are working really well. All pretty consistent, as you can see there on that top line of them 3. All them deliveries are near enough same. Rise angle's good, launch is pretty much perfect at 2 degrees there. Rotation, this will be an interesting one. So this is what led me to believe that you are like a strong arc in your putting. So you open the putter by 8.3 degrees in the backswing and close it by 14.9 degrees in the through swing. So again, another suggestion as to why I missed them putts left.
So on an arc then, ball position, if you're doing an arc, ball position is very important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And that's suggesting to me that it's probably too far forward. That's why we're getting a lot of closure on the way through, so we'll have a little bit of a look at that. Another big reason as well as to why we missed more putts to the left, I suppose, because of that closure rate. When we look at this next bit, again, that's just like an overview of what we saw earlier. Notice that consistency is pretty down though when it comes to face angle in relation to path, so when you're talking about missing them putts to the left, that's where they come from. Right, let's have a play around with seeing if we can not close this face as much. Right, so what I want you to do now is that gathering that information, first and foremost I just want to see how you adjust to these numbers. So I want to see how if you can manipulate your path and your face relationship to get it better. If you're struggling with doing that, I've got loads of good ideas that we can implement to hopefully get that straight for you. So, just do a step from this again.
So I'm adjusting face and path?
If you can. Yeah. But just knowing those numbers, so knowing that you're 1.8 degrees into out of your path and your face has got that big tendency to want to open and close, that's what I'm thinking of now. Right, so now We've got face perfect, score-wise 100% at address, so that is absolutely mega. Consistency is 90% as well. Face at impact is 0.4 close, so we've got that from being what we're at before. 1.3 close, so now we're 0.4. That's brilliant. That's a degree closer to what it should be. But path is still 2 degrees right, so that's why we had the 3 that just missed. Yeah.
To be honest, I was thinking more about the face.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
If we have another go, I might be able to
strike. The difference is there is that we've moved it from 1.6 millimeters to the heel to now 0.2. So all these are very centered, and you can see that you score 99% consistency better as well. That's superb. Rotation, still a lot opening, still a lot closing. So
there is a lot of that. So there he explains when the daisy is clicking, it's clicking.
Yeah.
But it can also be the other way, can't it?
Yeah. So now we are seeing face at address perfect again, face at impact way better. Path is down to 1.4 degrees right, which is mint from 2. Strikes just jumping around a little bit more, but that only makes sense to me because you're playing with paths and faces and how they align to it and stuff. Still seeing the same kind of closure rate, so we need to do a bit of a drill with this now, don't we?
Yeah.
Just to make sure that we get that nail. Launch is superb again. So aim, how you delivering that face is good, but as we know, like you said, on the off days, because there's so much rotation of the face, when you're a bit off, aren't you?
I don't know if it's made a difference.
So you just said, like, kind of off camera then, that you're kind of a bit of a lost cause. Not necessarily.
So I got the cuts from Jack, probably early June, and it has changed things a lot.
Yeah.
So even on my bad days, it's a lot better than my average days beforehand. But it just feels like it can go. I'll know if I'm set up comfortable. I think right, I can't go wrong here.
Yeah.
But then there's just days and I just don't feel comfortable stood over it, and there's nothing I can do to change it.
Right.
Thinking, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
And they're the days where it could go left, it could go right.
See what we have got.
Which makes sense now.
Yeah,
what we've
yeah.
seen.
But what we have got today is that looking at your timing and stuff like that, is that you are very capable of delivering that face very square to where it's setting up at address. We know that you aim it very well, and we know that you deliver it very well. So, is this as much of a concern to me? These open and closure rates, not necessarily. Alright, or if not, slightly more than what I got before. So.
Yeah. De-lofted.
Yeah, 2 degrees de-lofted.
And what was it before? 1?
Delivery of face on that last batch was 0.2 again, from like a 0.6 delivery.
Yeah.
So again, it's just super. Strike, a little bit high again, but it's good.
Expected that.
Yeah, closure rate is still very similar. So a 9 open that way back, 15 close that way through. This is something that we're just going to have to keep on top of. It's not a thing that we need to change per se. It's you knowing where you are with this.
As long as there's consistency somewhere.
That's it. Well, this is how it ranks it, isn't it? So you look at your score. The score is like a mythical type thing. So it's suggesting that you should be in some kind of parameters of this is how much you put a should arc, open and close. It's not like factual. If you can do that every time with your consistency being 95%, you'll be a good putter. You will putt well. Do you know what I mean? Angel Cabrera, can you remember him, that old fat Argentine guy? That's so disrespectful. He's one of the best golfers ever. He's got massive open and closure rates with his putter. But similar to you, he can deliver it how he addresses it. So it's good.
So we're just going to make sure that we set up is consistent.
Yes. Yeah, it's all about consistency.
Somehow we're going to make sure.
Gotta be. You can get 2 guys, right? One that has massive open and closure rates, one guy that's very stable in his putter rotation. Don't mean that he's a better putter than you. If you can deliver it the same every time and he can't. Right then, so we've done some really good work there. Let's just have a little final recap at some numbers that we've got, following a few kind of ideas that we spoke about today. So what we know with Callum is that his address position is near enough perfect. We've got a 96% score on that one. He delivers his face 0.2 open to that target. That's in degrees. So despite the amount of rotation that he's got in his stroke, he's very capable of setting it up perfectly and delivering it very well. We see a path that is 3.1 degrees to the right, which means that we may have to have a little bit of a play around with aim in future, but on the whole it's very good. Strike location quite high but very central, again good. Rotation, as we spoke about quite a lot in this video, opens quite a lot, closes a little bit more. That's why we get like paths going right, faces matching up to path, so he kind of draws it into the target. But as we know from these numbers, he's very more than capable, that doesn't make sense, is more than capable of delivering that face back to where it needs to be. So this for me has been good because I've got some proper concrete baseline numbers now, haven't we? But on the whole that is super positive, and we know the big thing for me, you can aim a putter and you can get that putter back to where it needs to be. So you are a good putter. Yeah? Yeah?
We've found success somewhere.
Yeah, good, that's been good. Right, that was the first session on Sam Putt Lab. Make sure you keep liking the video, keep sharing it around, keep subscribing. What is the crack with the journey now? We're just going to carry it on?
Yeah, we're going to have a chat to you.
Okay, we'll have a chat off camera and then we'll talk to you guys in the next episode about what we're doing. Yeah, this has been pretty good. Enjoyed that. Till next time, thanks for watching.
Bloody love putting.
Cheers. Yeah, that's what I wanted you to say.